Okay, we're back. Welcome back to another lesson. I'm Brian Baker here at our music lesson studio. Brian Baker Guitar Studio. We're located at 26 Bettengale Road in Quispamsis, New Brunswick, Canada at KV Oasis Youth Center. And today we're talking about how to play fingerstyle guitar and more specifically in the style of John Prine. So maybe we'll just get warmed up here. We'll do a little finger picking. What should we do? Do a little John Prine tune, I guess. That's what we're going to be talking about. You know that one? In spite of ourselves. A little bit out of tune there, but that's okay. That's what being live is all about sometimes. So today we're going to be talking about how to play fingerstyle guitar like John Prine. I think most time John Prine uses the thumb pick, so we'll talk about that first. I know I have other videos about thumb picks. I'll just do this really quick. The thumb pick that you want to use for playing fingerstyle guitar, I always say I'd recommend thumb pick by Fred Kelly, or one of these ones that I'm using by Black Mountain thumb picks. I definitely would recommend one of those types of thumb picks. Probably highly likely that's what those guys are actually using, as opposed to those Dunlops that you can buy at the music store. And to tell you the truth, I think those are just a disaster for learning fingerstyle guitar or finger picking with those big Jim Dunlops. They're just huge. They're too big and they're weird shaped and they're heavy. I don't like them. Okay, so let's talk about how to pick like John Prine in spite of ourselves. Now, I like to play that song in the key of C. I'm not too sure exactly where John Prine is in that song, but I always play it in C. And so the first thing that you have to get down when you're playing that style is this little beat like this. All right, it's very much a Chet Atkins type of thing. And you just want to start doing that pattern with your thumb over and over and over again. Doesn't matter how long you have to do it, you'll get it. You just want to have that nice and smooth and consistent 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, not or, and then, you know, even if you have to go really slow, you want to keep it nice and even. Might be a good idea to play with maybe a metronome. Okay? So when you're doing that, we're on C chord. And what's happening there on the C chord is you're starting here on your A string. You're picking that note, which is C. And then you're going down to your D string. And then when you come up to the E string, your third finger has to move up to hit that. Grab the fifth of the chord, and then back down to the E. Kind of there. So again, the bass pattern is A string, D string, E string, D string. And your third finger is moving up to the E when your thumb does. You have and up together. Okay, so if you're going to play, say, in spite of ourselves, the second chord there is F. Now I always do my F like this. Okay, so what I've got going on here, you can do F several different ways. You can do it like this. This is okay. You can do an F here. You could do an F here like this. You could do an F here like this, or this way. You could even come up here and do this if you wanted to. That's a little bit harder, but still is an option. So I like to do this one. Oh yeah, another option too, you could put these two fingers here. So you have your F chord. Now if you're going to get into this finger style picking, you should know how to play all your chords. You don't want to just kind of jump into learning fingerstyle and not know any chords. So to make an F like this shouldn't be you know, too far out of the question. So anyway, we're going to be here on F with thumb on top. Okay, and what I do for my bass pattern here, the bass pattern is going to change just a little bit. We're going to go from the top string and then down to the D string. So that's your pattern now. Okay, and again, I'm palm muting here on my bridge. I got my palm resting on the bridge just above the pins. I mean, you don't want to be too far up here because you'll get no sound. You know, back here somewhere is good. Just to take the overtones out of it. You don't want it to be. You do want it to be a little bit muted, but not so muted that you get no tone. You know, you got to be able to hear the notes. Okay, so I'm just going between those two. Another thing I'm doing too is I'm kind of giving a little squeeze here and there just to kind of choke it off a little bit. Okay, if you don't have to do that, that's something you can try to do later. So let's say we're playing and we're on C and I'm doing my C here. Legs is funny, and then back to F. Nose off at money. Okay, up these two and then C. I don't really know the words too well, do I? And then I go to G chord. Now here's another one you could do several different ways. Okay, you could do G chord like this. That's fine. You can do G chord like this. You can do G chord like this. You can do a G7 like this. It's kind of the one I like to do. Okay. So what I do on G, now regardless of what G you use, maybe you're using this G, this G, this G, this G, or this G, or maybe up here you're using this G. Okay? I'm going between my E string and my D string, so I'm here. This is what you got to get down first. It's just the thumb pattern of the fingerstyle arrangement. I'm doing this G7 chord here. Neat way to do G7. I've got my F note here, which is my flat 7, which is kind of borrowed from the F note down here. That's another kind of a chetty kind of lick. Okay, so let's just go through a verse. I B, R on C. And then down to F. Then over to the G. Okay, that's what you gotta do first. You have to get down the bass pattern with your thumb first before you start adding in. Now, even before you get to that stage where you start incorporating your fingers, is one other thing that you can do that's kind of a neat, kind of more of a, I think maybe more of a Merle Travis kind of a thing. That's where all this stuff comes from, Chet Atkins, Merle Travis. You're gonna, you know, when you hit the D string, okay, this is something that's maybe just personal touch, I guess, that you can add in. You can hit your D string just a little bit harder and maybe get 2 strings. And then instead of just having the bass like that, if you hit the D string just a little bit harder, you get a little bit of chord in there. And that's kind of a cool trick to do too. Okay? Okay, so I'll just run through a little pattern that you might start learning first. At first, you probably will start learning something like this. So what I'm doing there is I'll just show you on the C chord, I'm hitting my E and my C together. Then I'm up my B string, 2nd string, 3rd string, open, and then thumb, thumb. So I got these two together, A and E string, B string, then the D string, then the E string, and then thumb, thumb. And you want to get that consistent. You're going to start off like this. Oh, I'm not getting anywhere. Right? You just keep at it and do it slow. There's a speed with all music. There's a speed, I believe, that everyone can play the song correctly. It doesn't matter how slow it is, as long as you're playing it right. Play it as slow as you want. Once you get it smooth and slow, you can start building it up, your speed. Okay, so you're here. And you go through the tune just like that. And you go to F. You go to C. doing the chords that only have the 2 string on the bass, all right, it changes up a little bit. You got E and E and E string, then the B string, then the D, and then here. It's the same pattern, you're just leaving out 1 bass string. All right, and that's basically how you play a song like In Spite of Ourselves by John Prine with a fingerstyle guitar accompaniment method. Maybe I'll just play it out. So those are the 2 things you have to get down first. The thumb pattern, nice and smooth, a simple comping rhythm with your fingers, get that down nice and smooth. And then after you have that figured out, then you can have all kinds of fun. The sky's the limit after that. You can ad-lib, throw in all kinds of stuff. You can make solos during the song. I mean, the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you can think about, whatever you can think up. You can change the chord structure a little bit. You can, and not just play the chords here. You can move around. We'll play them all over the place. So maybe I'll play it out and do a little example like that of what kind of fun you could have after you get some of this stuff figured out. All right, I'm Brian here at Brian Baker Guitar Studio. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for more. Okay? You make it look so easy. Thanks, Captain. Here we go. Do it again. See that little, that's not in the song, but I can put it there and have fun. And you can take the chords up the neck. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we'll end it like Brian Setzer on Sleepwalk. All right. That's how you play fingerstyle guitar, like John Prine does. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back soon with more videos.